Going on, everybody? Trying to build this new habit, this new routine going live on my commute, just to continue to just share more wisdom, especially when it comes to real estate investing, as we continue to navigate this new economy, 7% interest rates in the retail market, and just continue to do that. One of the things yesterday, we were blessed to close on our first DC flip ever. We bought our first fix and flip project back in 2015. We were stationed in this area before we bought it in Alexandria, Virginia, not too far from Fort Belvoir. And yeah, so we just picked up a property in DC, so that was really cool. It was one of our church members that we used to go to church with when we were stationed here the first time. We don't know we don't go to that church anymore, but we still have good friends that are still members there, and so we stay in touch. And so they ran into a situation with his mom's house, his childhood home, and it just got to the point where she couldn't live there anymore, so the family needed to sell. And so they were just going through everything, and family member were like, yeah, we probably should just talk to a real estate investor so we can everything can be straightforward. And of course, because he knows that I'm a real estate investor, because I share what I do with people, he said, I know the guy, I know who to call. And so we were able to help the family out, and we gave him a really sweet deal that worked out, whereas we didn't go into negotiations, everything, and it was just a really good conversation about what they would like to get, and could we make it work. And we probably could have got it, if it was a standard, especially where the market is right now, with a little bit of uncertainty. If it was a standard kind of negotiation or me going into the deal, I would have wanted to get a little bit less. But because of the situation, because of the relationship, money wasn't the number one. Money wasn't the number one goal for him or for me. And so I think that was super cool, and I like that, to be able to help the family out, because it just makes you feel good when you're able to help somebody else and do good about somebody that is something that you really can't describe. So that was cool. So we got that. So that's gonna be a good project that we're gonna be local, because we went to the closing table. I'll probably post that in a couple of days. My social media person, she's a little busy, and I backed out time to just sit down and craft out a post about it, but share the picture. But I don't get to go to the closing table that often anymore. I went down and closed on the 40 unit a couple of weeks ago down in Alabama and flew down for that. But it was cool to be able to close. And then can't hear. iPhone. I blame the iPhone. It's the iPhone. Jeez. Can you hear me now? Yo, let's do a comm check real quick. Can anybody hear me? Thought my Bluetooth. Did my Bluetooth go out? Hold on, let me switch this out. I'm glad I went on the interstate yet. Let's try that. You can hear me now. It's this Bluetooth. I blame not the Bluetooth. I blame this iPhone. See, I just transitioned from my Android to this iPhone last week, and I don't know. Okay, y'all can hear me now. Oh, she said it may have been her phone. Okay, cool. But yeah, just talking about the DC project. How y'all doing this morning? Thank y'all for tapping into the live. I'm en route to the gym to work to get on the clock. But yeah, it was cool to be at the closing table, to have conversation, just chit chatting, and just talking about some of the future things that we got coming up in the business. From an education standpoint, we're helping people learn about passive income and how to invest in real estate. Our first virtual event is going to be happening November 14th. Going to see more coming out here in the next week, probably, where you guys can get tickets and champion in that. That's going to be really cool. It's something that we're doing with the educate, because there's not a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there. What's up, Virginia? Yep, out here on this 28 traffic out here in northern VA on the commute. But it's really cool. And one of the things that we've been able to build with our business is we bring private investors on as partners and in our deals, but we also educate too, and we teach people how they can go off and learn how to fish for themselves. They can go off and do the same thing that we do in the business that I built, but I teach the same process and systems. And a lot of people, they talk about like, oh, you got to have your competitive advantage and you can't tell your secret sauce because then now you're creating competition. But I'm a true believer when you have an abundance mindset and you don't walk with a scarcity mindset, the more you're able to help people, the more you're going to be able to be helped. And the Bible says it's better to give than to receive, to be a blessing in order to get a blessing. And so that's why there's plenty of real estate out here in houses all across the United States. So if somebody's actually motivated, they want to put in the work, then we're going to put the tools in your hand where you can be effective. That's what it's all about. And then if you don't want the tools in your hand and you just want to fund and come into a fund where you can share and put in your money and get a stable return that's backed by real estate and kind of diversify from the stock market, because the stock market is down. I think it rallied yesterday pretty good. But for the years down, still probably like 22%. That I had a friend, she was saying that her portfolio yesterday has dropped 75,000 this year. And I was like, wow, that's a big hit. And that's the thing that you got to be, cognizant of. You got to diversify. And so a lot of this stuff, they don't teach you, and so there's no professional development for a real estate investor. There's a lot of people that call themselves gurus out here that don't have a portfolio, they don't have a large experience baseline. And so that's the thing that you got to figure out, whereas that, there's no professional development for real estate investing. And that's what we're doing with my brand, REI Genius, is providing that professional development gap. We're going to fill that gap with everything that we're doing, sharing my journey, my business, on the single family, the multifamily side, but then also on the private investing, how to make your money work hard so you don't have to work hard the rest of your life. And that's what the ultimate goal is with all this stuff when you start talking about being an investor and looking at assets. And so that's the thing that's different about our company. We don't say, hey, just invest in our company, but we actually give you the education so you can make smart investments, or you can go off and start doing this stuff yourself too. Because guess what? The funds that we got, that we're raising, that we're bringing together, that we're going to be able to fund the deals within our community. And so that's going to be the power that we're building up with the private equity fund. A lot of things coming into work, so I'm super excited about that. That's where we at with this traffic. Trying to get one of my friends to do English. I speak Spanish. See. Okay, yeah, my Spanish is really, really bad. I won't even say rusty. It's been a while. It's just bad because I don't get a chance to practice it at all. And but that's the thing. Definitely find somebody, a good friend that can help you translate and go through and kind of make that translation for you. Because that's why I was talking to people yesterday. It's not about how, it's about who. That whatever you want, it's all about who you need to talk to in order to get you the information and get you to the point where you need to be at with any of this stuff when it comes to real estate investing, entrepreneurship, being a business owner, whatever it is that you want to learn to do, you got to figure out who's done it before and how they can figure out how they can help you out versus you trying to figure out how by yourself. Because it's going to take you forever to read a book. It's going to take you forever going around YouTube if you ain't got nobody right there that can tell you, hey, don't go there, don't do that, jump over that pond. Hey, don't go around the way you're going to go back. You're going to go all the way up there and there's a hole in the road. And you got to turn around. So you're going to waste 5 miles getting there and 5 miles coming back. So just go this way. And that's what coaching and mentorship is about. Whereas that somebody can direct you to where you need to be and save you a lot of pain and headache and save you a lot of money too, where you're not making mistakes. So that's what it's all about, going to send people your way. Most definitely. Make sure, have them join, and it's on my banner for my page, but make sure you get people to join our cash flow investment club. That's what it's all about, that's where I teach. We actually got a live teaching tonight at 8:00, where I'm going to share my big takeaways from the Flip Hacking Live event that I attended this past weekend in Orlando. I'm going to give the big takeaways, for real estate investors going into the end of this year, fourth quarter, 2022, what they need to be doing, what they need to be looking at, and just kind of sharing my big takeaways, what we're doing in our business. Just where is that people that are looking to start buying more assets, buy more cash flow producing real estate investments. that they know where to look and they know how they need to navigate the space. And so that's what this community is all about. But yeah, when I stop driving, I'll share the link. Or actually, yeah, when I stop driving, I'll drop the link under the live on my profile so you all can have it to the Facebook group. And yeah, and there's a lot of education stuff, and that's kind of where my landing pad to kind of just share stuff where I'm not just spamming people on my personal page, but if they're really, really interested in learning real estate, they can jump in that group and consume the content there. And then I got a 5-day boot camp that's coming up, almost that challenge. It's not really a challenge. It's going to be a boot camp because I'm doing things different than a lot of other people online and how they're going through the process. But this is going to be a 5-day boot camp to kind of help people level up that's really interested in real estate, that's looking to take their portfolio to the next level. They're trying to diversify away from the stock market. They need to buy some $80,000 houses that are paying $400 a month, cash flow after their mortgage, taxes, and insurance. That people are looking for those assets. And a lot of people, especially in the D.C. area, Maryland, Virginia, you can't buy rental properties here. So that's what I want to teach people is how they can start buying assets down south in great cash flow in states like Birmingham, cities like Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile, Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi, some great areas like that where you can get cash flow on properties. And you don't have to worry about investing here in your backyard in D.C. and Virginia and Maryland where you can't really get any cash flow. Or you got to put $100,000 down where you could have bought 4 houses that's paying you twice the boat you're going to get in cash flow up here. So that's what it's all about. So be on the lookout for my real estate boot camp. That's going to be coming up November 14th, that whole week, 5 days, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. And so that's going to make sure you share the word. That'll come out a little bit earlier next week, early part of next week. We're going to drop the website so people can start signing up, getting their tickets for that. And it's going to be really good, especially for those that's in a space where they got to get out the stock market. They're stressed out. They're on the roller coaster and they want to get off. And one of the strategies I was talking with one of my clients about was how they could take a $200,000 loan against their TSP account. Somebody that was already not recently retired, but they'd been out of service, so they had a lot of money just sitting in their TSP. How they could get a $200,000 loan against their TSP to buy 5 $80,000 houses. Well, actually, this scenario, I think we said 10 $80,000 houses, which was equal to, of course, $800,000. And with that $200,000 would be the down payment that they would need. So looking at that scenario, 25% down, so that's $200K down, and you control 10 houses that's worth $80,000 right now. And that would roughly bring in about $400 cash flow per house. That now you're looking at $4,000 of passive income by being able just to leverage $200K out your portfolio, that you're going to be able to go and create $4,000 of monthly passive income. You're going to get tax write-offs. You're going to get the debt paid down by your resident that's living there. And then you're going to also get the monthly cash flow. And over time, you're going to get the appreciation too. And so I think that's the huge thing that people don't realize. That you don't have to have 1,000 doors like Grant Cardone's always talking about, or, going, a drastic amount of units and apartment buildings. You can get 10 houses that's paying you from the day one $4,000 a month in income, and then you pay them off over 10 years. And now, that $400 is going to go to, $8,000, $800 a month rent per house for 10 houses. That's $8,000 a month you're bringing in after you pay those houses off over the next 5, 10 years, or however fast you want to pay them off. But you can do some real damage and get some massive wealth built up really quick by doing just strategic things like that with $200K out your retirement account, or a loan against your retirement account to go and buy assets like that. And that's what it's all about, because if you're not buying assets, you're going to always be somebody else's asset. And so that's the thing that we got to figure out is how can we buy assets, whether it's real estate assets or, mutual funds. That's an asset. You buy an asset, a part of a company, something that you can hand down to the next generation. You go and buy a business, or you build a business. A great opportunity coming up in the future is going to be able to buy a business. Because one thing I've seen is a lot of older people that are looking to retire. Their kids don't want to take over the family business. The baby boomers, they're done. They don't have a lot of automation. They don't have a lot of technology in these businesses that they built over the years. And, why not work out a win-win solution where it's that you let them retain 10, 15% ownership, whereas that they can put it in a trust and hand that down to their kids, and they sell the rest of you on great terms that you can buy their business. And now you bring in some marketing, you bring in some technology with automation and things like that on the internet. We're running ads. And now you can scale somebody else's business that already has employees, that already has equipment, that already has a foundation. And you just come in and now you got the fire going. Now you just bring the fuel and pour on the flour on the fire and and run with the business. So I think there's a business acquisitions is going to be a big one here as a lot of baby boomers kind of transition out of their businesses and look to retire completely. So you got to buy assets. It's not all real estate. You got to figure out what works for you. If you're great at baking, you may need to start a baking business. If you're great at doing hair, you probably need to open a salon. And then once you get great at it, figure out how you can help other people become great at it and teach people. And I know there's a lot of negative stigma about coaching and teaching, but you just gotta vet the right people that, before you go out here and spend your hard earned money, you gotta vet the person that you're spending it with and make sure they can get the results that they've achieved the same results already. And so once you're able to do that, you're going to be in good shape. But a lot of times that people don't do their due diligence on individuals that they're aligning with. And for whatever reason, people don't have a track record. They're just trying to sell you something. You can't get them on the phone. You can't answer no questions. There's not a community around you where you can go through and implement and then have somebody that you can reach out to ask questions to make sure that you're successful. Because that's what it's all about, is having a community of people around you. Because Zig Ziglar says, you're going to be an average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So if you're not around, you're not in a room with people that's successful, people that's doing what you want to do, then it's going to be hard for you to get to where you want to go. So that's the thing. You got to figure out the right rooms you need to get into with the right quality people, the community of people that's like-minded, that can support you, and then just go take action, take massive action, and go make it happen. But yep, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up here. Almost at the office. Y'all be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the Cash Flow Real Estate Facebook group. I'm going to drop that at the end of the chat under the comment section. And then make sure you guys come in, and then I'm going to do a live inside the group tonight. Just get my big takeaways from Flip Hacking Live. And just share that with you and just share some insight on what we're doing in our business, the recipe.